Agent Romanoff. You miss me?
Oh yeah, Charles, we got ourselves an X-Men fan.
Captain.
Your Highness.
Captain, big fan, Spider-Man. Hey everyone.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Filmartsy. I'm your guy 𝗕𝗃𝗂𝗏, and today we are going to break down the best VFX scenes from the new hit series, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The Falcon and Winter Soldier is the second iteration to Disney's new made-for-streaming service, or I guess made-for-TV series, following its overwhelmingly successful counterpart, WandaVision. This 6-episode, hour-long show focuses on Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon, struggling to decide whether he should take up the mantle of Captain America or leave the mantle vacant in honor of Steve Rogers. On the flip side, we find our favorite mechanical arm-wielding friend, Bucky Barnes, in therapy as he's trying to learn how to cope with the ghosts of his past and all the people that he killed while he was the Winter Soldier. Eventually, they have to team up and take on this new threat called the Flag Smashers, and there's some other pretty incredible twists and turns that are sure to leave you on the edge of your seat. This show takes the audience on an action-packed ride full of incredible stunts, intense moments, and more impressively, incredible production quality. Disney really wanted to make a statement that they weren't going to drop production quality just because it was a made-for-streaming service show. In fact, they actually gave The Falcon and the Winter Soldier a whopping $25 million per episode budget, totaling $150 million. And quite frankly, this massive budget really showed. I can't tell you how many times I've been disappointed when I went to a show that had some kind of superhero iteration, only to notice the significant drop in production quality due to the lack of budget. I get it, not everyone's got a ton of money and you gotta work with what you got, but when it comes to these bigger than life characters, it's really hard to get immersed in a made for TV series superhero show when you can get a full budgeted, massive $1 million art piece in theaters. Disney made sure that WandaVision and The Falcon and Winter Soldier would avoid these issues, and I'll be honest, it made a huge difference. Maybe you call me easy to please, or I'm just a soppy lover of all things Marvel, but I think their statement was received loud and clear, and quite frankly, that's why we're having this video today. The Falcon and Winter Soldier has some incredible VFX moments, scenes that still kind of boggle my mind, especially as I found out how they were made, and the consistent utilization of CGI effects all throughout the series. They don't really miss a beat. Today, we're going to take a moment to focus on some of the CGI props like Falcon's wings, the Winter Soldier's arm, and Captain America's shield, and we're going to break down and analyze some of the coolest scenes from the show and how they were done. So buckle up and let's get started. We can't get into the amazing VFX scenes without highlighting how crisp and clean the CGI was for various props throughout the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm gonna have to rip off the proverbial band-aid, and just like someone being told that Santa isn't real, I'm sorry if that was just you, the wings of the Falcon, the arm of the Winter Soldier, and yes, the shield of Captain America was often CGI'd all throughout the series. Why highlight this? Why is this important? Some of you may be thinking, duh, I knew that. Well, obviously, when Falcon is flying through the canyons or doing various stunts and his wings are out, no one's thinking that that's real. But moments where he's standing still and he's in front of an audience or a group of people and those wings stand stout and look completely mechanical and legit, it's crazy to think that most of the time it was just Falcon with a fancy little backpack and CGI being added to make those wings come to life. That's the same with the Winter Soldier's arm. The Winter Soldier, all throughout the show, had his arm CGI'd out so they can add a mechanical arm. I know some people say there's some kind of sleeve for more intricate moments, which may be true, or a prop utilized, but a lot of the time, especially in the fight sequences, his arm was completely CGI'd. What's even more noteworthy, this is really the first time we see his Wakanda arm in action versus the one we see in Captain America and the Winter Soldier. The Wakanda arm has multiple intricate moving parts, has the yellow lights kind of gleaming here and there, and every time you see it, it's crisp, clean, and done super, super well. Honestly, I would believe that Bucky Barnes in real life has a mechanical arm. That brings us to what I think is even the most stunning component, is that Captain America's shield, more often than not, was CGI. Yeah, computer generated. That's crazy because a shield, you have that prop lying around or you figure, and there was a Captain America shield prop. By any time you saw that bad boy whipping through the air, taking down bad guys, or doing some of the ridiculous tree bouncing, you guessed right, it was CGI'd. Sometimes we take for granted how crisp and clean CGI is all throughout a show. The Falcon's wings, the Winter Soldier's arm, and Captain America's shield are done without skipping a beat and never detract from the show. That's what made this feat incredible and impressive, and a big kudos to Disney for putting in that massive budget to make sure everything looked just as good as it would in a Marvel cinematic feature. Now, without further ado, let's talk about some of the incredible scenes found in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier Disney series. If you haven't heard yet, perhaps you're living under a rock, or maybe you just don't care about Marvel, which I don't know why you're here for this video, but the opening scene in the Falcon and Winter Soldier is amazing. It literally blew me away. The Falcon and Winter Soldier kicks off with what is arguably, or at least in my opinion, going to go down as one of the most iconic and incredible action sequences produced by Marvel ever. That's including the movies as well. The scenes open up with the Falcon jetting through the desert air, trying to take down a group of terrorists wearing aerial squirrel suits. That's right, aerial squirrel suits. Quickly, these terrorists land into helicopters. The Falcon, while being shot at, swoops in and out of frame, performing exciting aerial stunts and zooming through labyrinth canyons, trying to hijack the helicopters and save the hostage. This scene is ramped up with intensity because they're about to hit the border, and if the helicopters cross the border, there's no way the Falcon can retrieve the hostage without causing international animosity. So why is this scene so incredible, and why would I say that this is going to go down as one of the most iconic, incredible action sequences ever produced by Marvel? Well, Marvel has an MO. They like to CGI a lot of their action, and quite frankly, they do a darn good job at it. With this scene, they actually went against the grain of what they typically do. Now, don't get me wrong, the Falcon was completely CGI'd. There ain't no man in a Falcon wing sweeping through the canyons, although it'd be very cool. It ain't happening. But what's even more fascinating is the sequence where the terrorists are wearing the flying squirrel suits, coming down out of the helicopter, trying to get into another helicopter, is 100% legit. Did you hear me? 100% legit. It really happened. They really did this. I didn't know that was possible. This stunt was done practically. Various media sources report that director 𝗕Rci scoured the internet looking for inspiration and started to watch flight stunts, squirrel suit videos, and anybody who was making any kind of aerial wings, and found a group that could do what she had imagined for the Falcon and Winter Soldier practically with professional cameras. So now when you watch that scene, you know that part of this scene was done 100% legit, coupled with the incredible CGI that Disney always produces. Now let's talk about another scene that can be found in episode 2. Episode 2 held up its end of the deal when it comes to making its own incredible VFX sequence. Early on, the Falcon and Winter Soldier tracked down a group that I mentioned earlier called the Flag Smashers. This group believes that the peace found during the blip was actually putting the world closer to world peace, only for those who got snapped back to ruin it. In an effort to reinstall this one people, one world ideology that they carry, the Flag Smasher group stole super soldier serum from Dr. Wilfred Nagel and injected themselves, creating a new wave of superhumans. This reaches a climax in episode 2 as Sam and Bucky track down the Flag Smashers and their 2 freight trucks. They believe that there's a hostage on board, and they begin their hot pursuit, but to their great surprise, there's indeed no hostage on board, but in fact Carly sitting in the back of the semi-truck waiting for them, and yes, she is a super soldier. This begins the high-stakes, jarring, in-motion fight on top of the 2 semi-trucks. The scene was done with a blue screen, loads of cable, and intense fighting choreography. You can see people jumping back and forth from trucks, Bucky sliding down the side, holding on for dear life, and even faux Captain America throwing his shield to save his counterpart. There's been some confusion on how this scene was done, so I went ahead and reached out to Dave McComber and asked him some questions that immediately came to mind, like first, why use a blue screen? If you don't know, a blue screen is typically used for night scenes, and that scene was done in broad daylight. According to Dave, he says, it had to do with the bounce of reflections. He reached out actually to the VFX supervisor of the scene. He said that the blue-green thing was interesting. They wanted blue for the night scenes, obviously easier light, less bounces, and had discussed green for the daytime, but it was really impractical, added a lot more time, and to get 2 sets of rags, both green and blue, was just money not well spent. Also, verbatim what Dave says, shooting on green screens sucks. Works on the eyes, and basically at this point cameras are pretty fine with blue and there's a lot less color spillage. The second main thing is that Dave pulls back the curtain on how the scene was done. There was a mixture of low trucks, high trucks, and legit moving on the freeway trucks. So those who've been saying that there wasn't any moving trucks at all are not exactly right. Now don't sweat if you're worried about your favorite actors. They were on the moving trucks. This was the stunt team performing some of the cooler things that can only be done with the moving freight trucks. The other main dramatic components were done on the low trucks and high trucks with the blue screen. It's scenes like these and the CGI props that really make me believe that the streaming TV shows that we're going to get here in the future are going to be top caliber. Shows like WandaVision and The Falcon and Winter Soldier really set the bar high, telling other studios that you better have a massive production budget to keep up to snuff with us. Disney is not messing around, and they're letting any of their competitors know that if they want to play with them, they're going to have to bring some bags of cash. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier really brought some incredible VFX sequences and what I believe to be one of the most iconic scenes ever done by Marvel with that opening sequence in episode 1. We only talked about a couple scenes, but there's multiple others all throughout the show, which means it's definitely worth watching. If you haven't gone and watched The Falcon and Winter Soldier, please do so. I love Marvel, I love what they're doing, and it's really worth the watch. It's an interesting watch. It's different from WandaVision, but it's definitely worthwhile. And if you're new to the Film Artsy team, thanks for being here and thanks for watching this video. We post regularly on our YouTube channels, so be sure to like and subscribe if you want to keep getting notifications about our new videos. Also, we got a pretty cool Instagram that regularly updates, so if you want to go ahead and follow us on social media, it'd be much appreciated. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I'm your guy, 𝗕𝗃𝗂𝗏, and until next time, thanks for watching.